There's such a fine line, making money and losing money in the market.
We want to teach you the concepts.
You have to be okay with the type of trader that you are.
We want to teach you the processes.
This is what really gives the meat and potatoes to it.
We're going to teach you how to.
The bottom line is you want to make money trading.
I can promise you that I can make you a better trader.
Join T3 Live at the Boca Raton Hotel and Resort April 26th and 27th for an exclusive trading education event. Sign up now.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mark. We're back here for the daily recap. It is Monday. So, based on the last 2 days' action, Friday's open to today's close, we obviously had a decent travel range. The correction, in my opinion, I was saying it this morning, it seems to be business as normal as basically it has been for the last 3 months, knowing that we are getting into earnings season. And we have now recovered nicely. We're back, above some key movement averages, certainly in the spiders, in the IWMs, and in the Qs. And to me, it's business back as usual. The bid's under the market, but that does not mean you cannot make two-way trades. Because quite frankly, this morning we were down a chunk, and there was nice two-way action. It was a little light on the downside, but it's quite frankly a little light on the upside, based on what I'm seeing. But you are seeing a bid to this tape. And some key things that have been reversing. We saw a 2-day move in the home builders we were talking about, in the Tolls, Lens, or Rylan. That's a good sign because they are leadership. I'd like to see that happen. I have taken some off. I've taken, kept some in the swing, but the majority, I've taken a nice 2-day trade in it, and I'm moving on. I think you're getting the same thing that's going to happen possibly into tomorrow in the Goldman Sachs's, the JP Morgans, some of the banks. They might be good for more than 2 days because, if you look at JP Morgan, it could be breaking a little bit of a downtrend, descending channel that could move itself to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised to see $50 on the JP Morgan. Then, you have 45 possibly on Citi, 45, 46. Goldman Sachs, still not great in this area, but Goldman Sachs obviously could get back to 150 very easily, depending. We have JP Morgan and Wells Fargo at the end of this week, so you're going to have to, that might be the tell. But I actually think you're going to probably have a bid in between before this, throughout this week, based on what I'm seeing today. The Bears were in charge for about 2 weeks, really. Friday was that capitulation day. We were oversold, and that's when a lot of volume came in, but buyers really stepped up to the plate. And at this point, the Bulls are, in my opinion, back in control. A little too early to tell. Headline news can certainly derail us, but overall, this seems to be the pattern. For a week, week and a half, 2 weeks, you get thrown off a little bit. We can't even get past 3% down move in the S&Ps, and then we recover, and the next thing you know, we're back at highs. I think that's where we're at. Earnings are going to be the tell. You're going to really see the cream of the crop rising, and quite frankly, the stuff that really cannot beat earnings, beat expectations, are going to get beaten up. And you saw it last week. We are in the beginning of pre-announcement. So from that point of view and perspective, be aware. Pre-announcements can happen, and obviously, ideally, unfortunately, they do happen overnight. So if you are taking overnights long or short, just be aware that that is the case. And normally, from the long side is the dangerous side, because they normally pre-announce to the downside, if they're going to pre-announce it at all. So that's where I'm looking at the tape. Best in breed. High beta still is not really showing the gusto and the strength. You can see what's happening. Apple, nothing, no real excitable movement, and really certainly no momentum. Google, which quite frankly was the leader for the majority of the year, has broken some key movement averages, and now might be the right level, right price, but it might be waiting to earnings also. Technically, that's not telling me something as to why I should get involved. Netflix, I was talking about this morning. I tried it. Possible a little reversal back to the 172, 173 range. Understanding it did just come from 190. So, 160 is some support, which is really held today. So we'll have to see how these high betas really react. I'm not seeing a whole lot of great action, but at the same time, understanding levels, whether it's on the daily chart or smaller time frames, is key. And respecting the fact that, today is no exception, and Friday was the same. You are getting nice two-way action. The two-way action is really for us to take advantage of as a trader. No need to, basically get such an opinion that you just don't let the price action and the charts really dictate how you look at your ideas. Other stuff I'm going to be looking at, and I saw today that were interesting. Obviously, Nike, something we've been talking about, looks pretty good, closed pretty strong. Nice base, almost a 2-week base based on what I'm looking at, for it to move a little higher. Retailers hit or miss. Under Armour, again, is another one that I was talking about. Back to at the 200-day, has held and has shown some good signs of regaining some composure and regaining some leadership back in the retail space. Macy's, Gap, other retailers that quite frankly look pretty good to me from the long side. eBay had a little bit of a move today. Still think it's going to wait to earnings. AOL to me looks okay, but I think, again, some of these stocks might wait to earnings across the board. So, in my opinion, we regained some composure, regained some leadership. 2 days doesn't make or break leadership, but I like how the home builders regained some, had a 2-day move. I think the banks are in for the 2-day move. And ideally, I'd love to see some high beta come back into play. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. I don't know if Apple's going to be that stock, but you have other stocks that can tag team accordingly. And then we still have the biotechs, the RGNs of the world, the Celgenes, the Amgens. They still look good. They haven't broken down at all. They're one of the best looking charts out there, which is a good sign. And then we go back. We have some big boys, big caps. Home Depot, McDonald's made a new high today, 52-week. Disney made a 52-week high. Walmart, almost a 52-week high. So you're definitely having some rotation, and that's what's keeping the market up. And that's why it's almost like a disguised market, but every other day, you're getting a new sector to play, and every other day you're finding new opportunities. You got to really do your work and find your rhythm on where you want to be, understanding that the Fed is behind this. I get it, but there's a bid underneath this market, and you got to respect it. We had 2 weeks of back and forth. Ideally, I love this back and forth to stay, but part of me feels like, minus the few stocks that are going to come out with earnings, the bid stays underneath this market for a few more days, just to confuse a little bit more people and go from there. So overall, hopefully you are able to take advantage of some of the stuff we were talking about this morning. The morning meeting I had, I was saying we're back to normal, what we've been for the end of the year, or been since the beginning of the year. 2-week, down move seems to be over. A little grind higher. The one thing I am noticing, and let's take note, just so we can slow ourselves down a little bit. I put a 5-minute chart up of the spiders. You can see when we get a move. For the first 2 hours of the day, and that seems to be the play, we don't really get a lot of action. Well, certainly in the overall markets. And then, about 1:30. So you got to sit in stocks and sit in your ideas and really be patient for a while. It will bore you to death. Then eventually we get that, a nice little, move to the upside, at least the last 2 days. But I think the key to that is you got to sit on your hands and wait for an opportunity versus just jumping in and having your guns blazing. I don't think that's the way to really get paid right now in this tape. Patience is key. Conviction is paying people. And right now, that's what you have to look at as opportunities, and ideally try to take advantage of it accordingly. Tomorrow, a few things I'm going to be looking at. Some of the healthcares that obviously had big plays the other day. I put a little bit in the swing. Humana, UNH, WellPoint, Aetna. A few days down. Some of them have filled the gap. Some of them have touched key moving averages. I think that's a play that we can look at to watch tomorrow, but we'll have to obviously see how the futures open up. Hopefully we're able to take advantage of some of the stuff we looked at. Overall, though, I think this market is going to be a little boring for us, but with earnings coming into play, you're certainly going to have stocks, individual stocks from a day-to-day point of view to look at. I will see you tomorrow. I'm Marc Sperling, Director of Trading with T3 Trading Group and contributor to T3 Live. Do you trade on your own, but you wish you enjoyed the benefits of a large trading floor? With the T3 Live virtual trading floor, we deliver that experience to you on your computer. On the VTF, you can follow the long and short positions of experienced professional traders like myself, Scott Redler, and others, and listen to our live radio stations as we navigate the markets. In addition, you get the added value of a large community of sophisticated and like-minded traders. Your membership to the virtual trading floor also includes access to our 2 very popular newsletter products, Off the Charts and the Price Point Sheet, at no additional cost. In my opinion, joining the room will be the best trading decision you will ever make. I would like to invite you to begin your membership with a 7-day free trial. To get started, visit t3live.com and click on the Virtual Trading Floor tab. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the VTF.